We got Luke Sanders back here on the program, really living up to his nickname right now, Cool Hand Luke. He's in the backyard right now doing this. I really appreciate it. He's going to be taking on former UFC champion Henin Barao coming up here at UFC on ESPN on February 17th. Luke, what's going on, man? How are you?
Doing good, man. It's a good day. Having a little rest and recovery, so it's been nice, man.
Yeah, and you were telling me off air you're back in Arizona. Did you move back there, or are you just doing your camp out there?
Yeah, I'm doing my camp here. One of my friends, a training partner from the lab, he hit me up and he was like, well, that I'm at the lab. He cornered me a few fights and we always had a good chemistry. He hit me up and he was like, hey man, let's do something. And I was like, all right. So here I am.
We haven't seen you in the cage since August, and here we are talking about a fight in February. Did you want this much time off, or are you trying to get in there a little bit sooner?
It was just kind of the thing. Just a lot of things going on with the living and just life. I had my daughter and stuff, so like I had her full time towards the end of the year, so I really couldn't. It was a lot of daddy-daughter time, and I had to be the parent, the mom and the dad, for the first time. So it took up a lot of time, and she's she's all out into like extracurriculum stuff. She's traveling cheerleading, so it was busy, that and business with the gym and stuff like that. So it's just good timing now. So.
That's good to have the, obviously the break there. I know your last fight didn't go your way. You fought Hani Yahya, and Hani Yahya does what he does a lot of times. He gets a submission. What did you take away from that fight? What would you learn the most from that matchup back at UFC Fight Night 135?
Man, he come out with a good game plan, dude, and executed it while it was early in the fight, so we never really got to test the waters. I really wish I could run it back and hit rewind, and you know what I mean. But just I didn't take nothing back, man. He just come out with a better game plan. The one thing I didn't think of is what he did. Jump guard in an MMA fight. It's like, I don't know. I didn't think we were about that life, but he did what he had to do. So congrats to him, and I'm on to the next one, and don't let it happen again.
And let's talk about the next one. What an opportunity this is, facing former UFC bantamweight champion Henin Barao. Just first off, when you found out you got the matchup, how excited were you?
It was cool, man. I'm excited about the matchup. Man, every fight's exciting in the UFC. It's the best of the best, and it's where the select few get to play. And he's a legend, so I mean, that. So put that under your belt and take one of those out. That's not an everyday thing either. So I'm pretty pumped, and I'm looking forward to it, man.
I don't think anyone will disagree with this assessment that they say that, Barao's lost a step. I mean, since he was the title holder, do you sort of value that? And also, how do you feel like you match up against him in this fight?
I feel like I match up good. Like my weight's on point. I'm doing the right things. I've made adjustments. I've grown a lot. I'm ready. My weight's perfect. I mean, I'm in shape. I'm strong. So, yeah, dude, I'm just ready to go. It's 2 weeks away, so just stay healthy and get in there and do what I know I can do, and be a good time, good night for me.
And you talked about training camp a little bit there. Who are some of your main training partners for this camp?
I'm working with Hoffa. He's fought LFA a couple times. Roman Salazar, he's in UFC vet. Frankie Saenz.
He's on UFC 235 now. I saw he's fighting Chito Vera.
Yeah. So we're both in there hustling, moving and grooving. He's a great training partner. My coach Randy Steinke, and then Santiago DeFranco. So just Man, getting after it, dude. Lots of good rounds, man. So, yeah.
That's great. So is this at the lab, or are you not at the lab anymore?
I'm at Fight Ready with this one. Yeah. So it's in Scottsdale, Arizona. So not too far away, and no traveling. So that's a plus. Yeah. So
That's great. Good stuff, man. And you mentioned the cut's going well. Doing anything differently for this weight cut, or just the usual?
no, man. I got Jason Phillips with Embry Nutrition, and he's doing really good. It's just been going smooth. You know, we're finding that good balance. So yeah, it's looking good. Just being a little more strict and a little more tight on everything, and then I have Neuroforce One. You know, helping me to collaborate with him as far as training and stuff like that. But man, it's been Jason, and he's a beast, man. I mean, I've worked with some of the elite guys, and I really like what he does, man, and I believe in it. So
Who's going to be in your corner for this fight?
I got Randy Steinke and um, Santino DeFranco, and then I'll have a third too. I'm not sure who. So.
Okay, yeah, a mystery. That'll be good. Who's
Yeah.
going to? How do you see this fight playing out on February 17th?
Man, I'm gonna get my hand raised. I don't know how, but I'm going in there with the hand being raised in the air. You know, that's my mentality right now. So that's all I know is I gotta walk out with the winner.
Every fight's important, especially in the UFC. But do you feel like you have to win this fight to keep your job with the UFC, or do you think you get a little bit more of a leash just because you always put on exciting fights? That's the one thing people can't deny.
I need to win this fight. So yeah, man, I'm not really thinking about anything else, other than winning. That's all it is right now is just thinking about winning because it is the mentality to think is win. So I'm just focused on that, man, and having a good time, man, putting it all together and you know letting it ride.
Before I let you go, I got to bring up something, and we talked a little bit about this off air. I think it's well known that you and WWE wrestler Becky Lynch are no longer together. Was that
Yeah.
part of the reason too for the layoff as well, just to kind of sort out things outside the cage?
No, not really, man. Everything was cool when we separated. So it was just mostly family stuff, man, and with my daughter and her me taking her on full time at the end of the year after the last fight, and just being the father and the mom role all for at once. So that took a lot of energy. She travels a lot and does a lot of like extracurriculum activities. So putting in that energy with her and like really putting my all into that. It was my opportunity to do that. I want her to know that you know that I got her forever and ever. And so it was great. And now the time is right, and we got us a fight on our hands, and we're just weeks away. So.
And just one more thing on that quickly. Did you expect her to get as big as she's gotten? Especially over the last year with Ronda Rousey and all this stuff that's surrounding her. Like, did you anticipate this? Just knowing her as long as you have.
Yeah, I always believed in her and always had, good vibes that she was gonna do well and be well, and always wished that for her. So I'm happy that she's doing good things and she's where she needs to be. She's deserved it, so she's earned it. Good for her.
And it's good for you, man. You got this huge opportunity here, like I mentioned. It's Henin Barao coming up here February 17th. It is UFC on ESPN. You're going to be part of history, man. This is first official card on ESPN. It's going to be a great show. Luke, always appreciate the time, man. Just remind people where they can find you on social media, and if you got any sponsors or shout outs, the floor is yours, man.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much. I wanna thank everyone for tuning in. You can find me at Cool Hand MMA, Luke Sanders MMA, and yeah, I'll thank my nutritionist Jason Phillips. Fight Ready's helping me. My school back in home, Nashville MMA, and then I got Trifecta with the food and amazing. I'm feeling great and legendary foods. virus. They got the best swag in the business. Definitely, if you're gonna be sports performing, you need to get their stuff. And yeah, man, just everybody that's been there along the ride, my family and friends, man, training partners. I appreciate you guys, you know, and tune in February 17th because I'm coming.